So we head over to Rogers in Wisconsin, Rogers Carnival, and then we go from there over to Art B. Thomas and the Dakotas and play there, and down over to Seabrand at Great Falls, Montana, and down through Utah, down to Phoenix. Yeah, Seabrand winters in Phoenix, so we take equipment, put it mostly in the winter quarters there, and head out with these people I've still got with a couple of concessions and work over in California with a couple of shows there, crafts, and Foley and Burke, and then back down around L.A. again. And got real friendly with Mr. Rosselli there, and I never called him John in those days. I do now, but you know, I always called him Mr. Rosselli. At that time, he was Mr. Giacana. And I did some burglaries again, and I was running the safe house end of this thing, and these guys were sitting, around L.A. They had just in various rooming houses and doing whatever they did. And I only had 2 clients by then, a girl and she was a hit lady. And we did finish the winter down around California and in Mexico and out of Mexico. We had the girl show going in and out of Mexico, and Gino Lamada was really getting into the girl show thing. So we're going to these different meetings on, by this time Castro had come in, and they were having these meetings about how to kill Castro. That was going on. We'd go to those things every now and then. And that was in Louisiana and Texas, down Beaumont, and Nacogdoches, and Shreveport, those areas. And either Gino or myself would go, and one of us would take care of the show stuff. And we're in another Seabrand Carnival winter quarters a lot. Then we did the same show thing the next year, which would have been about 51, and then same route all the way around again, down to Arizona again, from the Dakotas down to Arizona. And we were getting clients from this Reverend Bourne, whatever, ACC churches. And they had a place down in Mexico, and I guess most of these guys were men. And one lady, she stayed with us a lot. And Martinez was her name. And we were back around Seabrand for that winter, and then comes 1952, come back into the, we're ready to go out. I turn over a vehicle and end up in Pima County Jail, and my ID factory ended up strewn across the desert.
Uh-oh.
And, all my crap is all over the desert. They come along, and I'm in a coma, not in a coma, but black, I can't see. So they take me to the hospital, Wilcox, Arizona, and the FBI comes in on it. I get busted. And all this ID, passports, everything else I've got. And I contacted John Rosselli. I had a phone number, and he had his suite. Well, he didn't get back to me, but all at once I'm let out of jail in the middle of the night at Pima County Jail. And it's 12 o'clock at night. They let people out, expect you to walk back to the city, you know. Uh-huh. No, Pima County Jail's underground way out.
Oh, boy.
The desert there. So a guy named Irvin LeBaron is waiting for me, picks me up. I didn't know what was going on. He says, "You're coming with me." Now, he was a Mormon with a lot of wives. And I went with him down to a place. We went to a place first to Douglas. We stayed overnight at Douglas, Arizona. And to Agua Prieta, And then down to Canana.
Rod, we've got a break coming up.
Be back on again.
We'll be back in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to PsiOp Radio. Our guest tonight is Roderick A. MacKenzie, and Mr. MacKenzie, you were leading us slowly towards Dallas.
Yes, you had just gotten out of jail, and
on that.
yes,
Canana, Mexico is where we're at right now. Cananea, I believe it was, and that was right over the border in Mexico. Errol LeBaron had this compound there. He's the guy, by the way, that ended up later on. They did a book on him, 4 o'clock murders. And he was the Mormon polygamist that got in a lot of trouble down there. Yeah, that was later in the 60s or 70s, I guess. So anyway, I go across. I stay there for a little while, a week maybe, and it's really great there. I had good food. There was a woman there and everything, forget all that. Anyway, the girl takes me, they tell me I'm going to Houston to meet some people, and she takes me all the way across Route 10 into the States, into the States again, into Route 10, all the way past where you are, and Austin and Houston. To Houston, we stay at the lady and I stay at the Travelers Hotel. I guess it isn't there anymore in Houston. Used to be a Carnival Hotel, crummy joint. And we stay there that night, and I'm supposed to meet some people. And we go over to a gay bar and meet them, and it's David Ferrie and 2 Latin guys. And they tell me they're going to pick us up in the morning, and I'm going up to Dallas. And don't tell me why or anything else. You never ask questions in those days, these people. I was making money. Why did I care? I had nothing else to do. And so they come the next morning. They come in a Cadillac, and they pick me up. And they take me up in this Cadillac. It wasn't new, but it wasn't very old either. Cadillac up to Dallas, and that's where I met. First I met Mack Wallace. He was. They took me into the Cabana Motel. They put me up there. At the Egyptian Lounge, I met Mack Wallace, and we had the whole clandestine deal where we both wore the same shirt and all that business, and so that we'd know each other. I didn't know Mack Wallace. I had known Dave Ferrie before, and I knew Frederick Rogers, who was in the car too. So they go their way, leave me with Mack Wallace at the motel, and meet Mack Wallace the next day, which I do. And he seems to be an amiable guy, so they nerdy looking with big glasses and square jaw, and very well educated, presents himself well, but he drinks a lot. He's got this flask and gives me some of this wild turkey that he's got, and one shot of that was enough for me. I went back to beer. It was, in those days, I don't know if it still is in Texas, it was set up and you couldn't order the mixed drink in those days.
Oh, yeah, those were the old days. It's changed.
They still have that?
No, not anymore. Dallas is a wide open city now.
It's an improvement. So I get to meet everybody. I meet Wallace takes me over to Jack Ruby's club, the Carousel, And I go over there and meet him upstairs and meet him. And I had some fun there. He introduced me to a lady, sort of. And I meet all these people. I met Tippit there, and I met, finally, we went back. Well, wait a minute. First I had met this Miranda, Jake Miranda. I met him too when that's Mack Wallace had me meet him at the Egyptian Lounge. And he comes in, both of them got suits on, and this weird Hawaiian shirt that he and Wallace and I have. He's under his suit. You knew he was uncomfortable with it. I didn't. That's all I had on. It was warm. And so we go over the carousel, and I meet Mr. Rubenstein. And I didn't like him right away, even though he was pretty nice to me. Mm-hmm. And he fixed me up with a gal right there and then, so that was not
What
bad.
was there about Jack Ruby you didn't like?
Just the demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
The boisterousness, the demeanor, there was just something hidden underneath him that I call him the penguin. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he reminded me of a penguin in a suit. And big guy, he was he was big and not big, he acted big.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, I usually took fucking shots at people and things like that, and I didn't like that. He got a couple of signs out of me later on. I painted signs for him, but it was all done through a third party.
And you got to know Tippit pretty well, right?
Well, Tippit I met right there that day, and he was to meet me the next day and take me to the safe house to take over the safe house, which I did up on Holland Avenue in Dallas. Holland Street or Holland Avenue. I guess it was Holland Avenue. And I had also, Ruby had said he could get me whatever I wanted, but what I wanted to go to work, as well as run the safe house, which was as a surgical nurse. And he said, sure, we can fix that up. So they did. They fixed me up with Dr. Sparkman over in Baylor University Hospital, St. Anne's, actually. And then he got me into Baylor University Hospital, Truett Center, in surgery up there. I worked there for all the time I was in Dallas, except to the end of it, where they put me over in Parkland. But that's getting ahead of the story. And so I get the safe house, which is a glorified garage, a coach house, up on Holland Avenue, and it's nice enough. I've got my own little apartment, very small apartment, and shower and bathroom. Plus, the clients have little cubicles and with doors on them. But and there's a little day room there, pool table, and clients start coming in after a couple of weeks. But I'm already working at Baylor by then, and that's what I wish I could find a record that proves I was there. Mm-hmm. Baylor. I know somebody can get it. I went there later on and tried to find out if I had worked there. They wouldn't help me out at all. So those records are all gone, Yeah. So, but if anybody wants to look into this stuff that I was there, they can look that up. I don't have the finances or the resources to do so.
So you managed this safe house, and there were a lot of interesting people that came through there to stay over the next few months.
There was an assortment of Latin people and Corsicans and Frenchmen, and they were all going to or coming from whatever they did. I assume it was hits. In fact, I know a couple of them. I cleaned up after them. I got notes and papers and things like that. Boy, you like to have those now. Mm-hmm.